forgot to plug in my thing. Here we are, so exciting. All right, so live today, and oh, it would help if you could see my stuff. So very good, very good. All right, so Jen Soto here, and I'm coming at you for our live at 5. I noticed that my Facebook video is a little bit close, so I'm gonna go ahead and move this away so it can not cut off the top of my head. Okay, so how are you guys doing today? So we're gonna be making a recipe out of our brand new Season's Best recipe collection. It's called Honey Sriracha Chicken, and so I'm very excited about that, and I can't wait to share it with you guys today. So let's go ahead, well, let me introduce myself first in case you're new here. My name is Jennifer Soto, and I am a Pampered Chef consultant. I've been a consultant for about 24 years, over 24 years, and I love doing what I do because I get to teach and share new ideas with people and share tips and tricks that I've learned and just kind of inspire you. Like my whole goal here is to inspire you. So go ahead and say hey. You can type it in the chat, you can leave a comment, let me know how you're doing, where you're watching from, what kind of a cook you are. I don't know, just say something in the chat, let me know you're here. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and leave me a comment as well. Is dinner time like a giant challenge for you? I find that when I ask the question, what's your biggest challenge? Dinner time is usually the answer. And so that's what I'm here to help and inspire you, to give you some dinner time ideas, to give you some things that might help you, make dinner time a little bit easier. So I'll start off with the Season's Best. So our Season's Best this season has some really great recipes in it. It has some appetizer recipes, which are great around the holidays. This goes all the way till March. It features a lot of our products and has some great cooking techniques that, I even learn from. So we're gonna make this Honey Sriracha Chicken. It actually features our new Honey Sriracha seasoning, which I just realized I forgot to take the lid off of. So, it's brand new. Whew, it smells so good. So for those of you who've been around a minute, my husband is allergic to all the things. So we actually are gonna make this recipe in 2 stages today. And we're gonna make it, can you see all the stuff I stuck over here? Well, that's just the way it is. We're gonna make an allergy-friendly version. And I got everything out except for the pans. So we're gonna make an allergy-friendly version and we're gonna make a tasty version. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Allergy-friendly can still mean tasty. And my husband is allergic to onions and peppers and a slew of other things. And so we have to really be cognizant of that. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and start the rice. This is a dish that can be served with noodles, like rice noodles, or it can be served with rice, or you can take it and make it into a sandwich or a bowl or something like that. So we're gonna do it with rice tonight. So we're gonna pull out the multi-cooker, turn it on, and I've got everything kind of pre-measured. Oops, didn't take that out either. So we're just gonna put some oil in the bottom. I'm gonna use my oil dispenser here and squeeze out about a half a tablespoon of oil. Put that in the bottom. Then I'm going to add my rice, which I went ahead and washed the rice ahead of time. And a lot of people ask me why I rinse my rice. And I rinse my rice because it helps it to not be gummy and gooey, and helps the pieces to come apart. So if you like gummy and gooey, then maybe you don't rinse it. But I started doing that a couple years ago, and I really like the way the rice turned out, especially in the multi-cooker. So, okay, we're gonna close it. We're gonna turn the knob to white rice, and we'll push and hold, and it's gonna start. It takes about 15 to 17 minutes to do that, to go through the whole course. So hopefully we'll be almost done by the time that goes off. So if not, I can show you how to release the steam and everything. So, okay, so first thing we need to do is prep our chicken. We're gonna go ahead and prep our chicken here. And I've got the chicken all laid out, and we just need 2 pounds of chicken. This recipe actually calls for thighs. And I, instead of using thighs, went ahead and decided to use boneless, skinless chicken breast. And the reason that I did that the reason I did that is that I am always, like watching what I eat, and chicken is 0 points on Weight Watchers. It's boneless, skinless chicken breast. So we're gonna go ahead and start by cutting these in half, make them a little bit easier to cook. I mean, look at this giant, thick chicken breast. So we're just gonna stick it in the closing cut. This is one of my favorite tools. I use it for chicken. It's also good to use for pork chops or bagels or grapes if you need to cut grapes in half. It's better than using 2 plates, I think. So it has 2 spring-loaded plates in here, so when I press it down, it cuts exactly in the middle of the chicken, which is very handy, and you end up with 2 little filleted pieces. So if you buy your chicken already thin cut at the grocery store, it's actually cheaper to go ahead and invest in the closing cut and the knife. It comes with a knife, the knife that I'm using here, the chef's knife. It's actually cheaper to go ahead and invest in that than to just keep buying those thin sliced breasts. And this goes in the dishwasher to make sure it's all nice and sanitized. So I love that. All right, so now I'm gonna separate these breasts out, and we're gonna put some salt and pepper on them. Another quick tip about chicken is that I know a lot of people, especially when I first started selling Pampered Chef, people would wash their chicken. And really, you don't need to wash your chicken. It actually takes all of the, if there's any germs or anything on the chicken, which there's not all chicken has salmonella, just so you know. But if there's anything on the chicken, then this washing it can actually spread it around your kitchen. So you don't really want to do that. So we're just going to put our salt and pepper on here, and I'm just using fresh salt, fresh pepper. I love just freshly grinding this. I go through it like crazy. And we sell the pink Himalayan sea salt and fresh peppercorn. So peppercorns too. 1 whole bottle will fit in our grinder set. I love our grinder set. It looks really pretty on your countertop. And so we're just going to do both sides, salt and pepper, okay? We're not putting any of the Honey Sriracha seasoning on here, okay? And actually, before I do that second side, I am gonna go ahead and heat up the pan. And we need 2 tablespoons of oil, which I pre-measured. The little mini measuring cup that comes with the Easy Read measure cup. We're gonna get that preheated. Okay. Now I've read the recipe, but I've never made this recipe before. This just shows you how easy Pampered Chef recipes are. I did go ahead and read through it, namely so I had all the ingredients and make sure that I knew where to divide the recipe up, and because I will move it into 2 pans. All right. Typically once we start making sauce and stuff like that. All right, so this is the color-coded chef's knife. We use that for, I use that all the time. Actually, you can see in my block here, I actually have 2 because I use it so much. And so now we've got the oil in here. It's heating up. And we're going to use the small chef's tongs to cook these. So we're going to heat it, and then we're going to season the chicken, both sides, salt and pepper, and we're going to brown it for 5 minutes, okay? So one side, 5 minutes, which is good because that's going to give us a chance to work on some other things like the veggies. So I'm using the 5-quart saucepan to cook this, and all that chicken fits in there really, really nicely. I'll actually pick it up and show you guys so you can see. All that chicken, those 6 pieces of chicken, 3 chicken breasts, fits in there really nicely. So our cookware, this is brand new. It's our Brilliance Cookware. Has a nonstick coating on the inside and the outside. And the handles do get hot, but it's oven safe, dishwasher safe. It's made of hard anodized aluminum, and so that's a great heat conductor. But don't worry, aluminum does not touch your food. It's fully coated. There's no aluminum that gets anywhere near your food. But aluminum is a great heat conductor, and it's great for using in cooking tools. And so love this. We use these, I mean, look at this. We use this pan all the time. Cleans up so nicely. So and they come with clear glass lids. Okay, you can get a set, and the 5-piece set has the 8-inch Sauté, the 10-inch Sauté, and I think the 2-quart saucepan. And then you can get the 5-quart saucepan, and you can get the 8-quart stock pot, and then all pieces are sold individually. So if you just need an egg pan, you can get just an egg pan. If you just need a stock pot, or you just need a skillet, you can just get that one thing, which is really, really nice. So, okay, next thing is onion, pepper, broccoli. So I've already cut up the broccoli, already done. Movie magic, right? Okay, we're gonna do our onion and our pepper. Let's do the pepper first. My dog is down here. I don't think you guys can see him. So what we're gonna do with the pepper is we're just going to take this middle part out. So it's already washed and everything, and I'm just gonna cut this middle part out where the seeds are, and I'm just gonna take that out, okay? We've got that right there. Now, those of you that don't know, I compost, so I will save this to go in the compost, okay? And look, we've got this right here. So, and then we are going to put this on the 3, okay? And I'm gonna get it started. I'm just gonna get it started right here. Now, as you can see, I don't want to keep doing it this way because I don't want to cut my fingers. I just want to get it started, and then we'll use the food holder. When you have a big piece of food, it's actually a really good idea to cut it down so it's a smaller piece of food. Once this gets a little bit smaller, I can put the top food holder on here, and then finish slicing this. You just want to put your hand big over this. You don't want to hold on to that top piece. You want to put your hand big so that you get really nice slices. Look at this. Great little slices here for our thing. And I'm actually going to cut these in half. And I'm only doing the peppers in half the recipe. So I'm really going to take half the peppers and put them in a container. Actually, I think I'm going to cook all the onions and peppers together, because then I can it's always a good idea to have all your bowls and stuff out ahead of time. Don't be like me. Okay, so there's the peppers. Next thing is the onion, and I am only going to cut half of the onion because it's a giant onion. Okay, quick tip for the onion, which I'm not going to do today. Quick tip for the onion, go ahead and take your knife and cut around the root right here. And that is actually, you can cut around the root, pull it out, and then you won't have the problem of watering eyes, because it's the sulfur in the roots that actually causes all the problems. So, okay. And if you cut it, like you just cut it straight down, you actually are, like disturbing that sulfur. So I'm peeling out these outer layers right here. Again, I'm going to stick it right here in my little compost pile. And then I'm not taking this top part off. I really hope this will fit in here. I did not pick my groceries today. Well, we're going to have to do it this way for a minute. The Walmart people picked my groceries, so I'm just going to slice down until we get to where it'll fit in here. A little smaller, and that'll fit in here. And I didn't cut off the end because that last slice I'm just going to hold on to, and see, that'll just go right over here. All right, so this is the simple slicer. Love the simple slicer. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut these in half, actually in quarters like this, so that we don't have these big chunks of onion in the recipe. Okay, so I don't know how long it's been. Let's go ahead and turn these. I don't know if it's been 5 minutes yet, but we'll go ahead and turn these anyways. They're gonna cook. Things take a little bit longer to cook up here in Colorado, so even if it had been 5 minutes, they probably weren't ready. So, all right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little sauce. And I'm actually gonna do it twice. One for my husband, one for me, okay? And so, all right, so in the sauce, we need the seasoning, which is right here, 1 tablespoon of the Honey Sriracha Seasoning. I think I have like a 5-spice seasoning that I could use for my husband. I have to go look it up and see if I can add it to his sauce later. 1 tablespoon of the seasoning. And our seasonings are so yummy, so yummy. And the soy sauce. And so we need soy sauce, we need, I'm missing it, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. So we'll use the same thing to get 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm using coconut aminos. Okay. All right. And then, so soy sauce, seasoning, soy sauce, honey, and lime juice. You know, I'm just realizing there's something else I forgot to do to the chicken, which I'll have to pull it out and do it in a second. Okay. I lost my place. Seasoning, soy sauce, honey, and lime juice. All right. So here's the honey, which I have to go get another whole thing of honey for my husband, and then lime juice. Okay, and so I have my lime right here. I don't want to cut this with the onion. We'll go ahead and just use this knife right here. Cut this in half. And then we'll squeeze half in each one. All right. And we'll squeeze half over here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm only going to put half of the honey in with my husband's. So that, because he does not like things really, really sweet. So we'll just do 2 tablespoons for him. Use that Easy Read measure cup. There we go. And squeeze that. He doesn't love things really, really sweet. He just likes things pretty much plain. Salt, pepper, all that, that's good for him. So, put that right there. These are not dishwasher safe, so you don't want to throw this in a dishwasher. And then, we'll just mix it up. This is kind of a lot of sauce. Probably could have used a little bit bigger prep bowl than a 1 cup prep bowl. I'm using a 1 cup prep bowl. I love using my prep bowls. I use them all the time. All right, so we've got that. And then we'll use this one to mix up his stuff. Again, I'm making a mess everywhere. All right, so we cooked the chicken, and like I said, I'm gonna have to pull the chicken off and make a change. Oops. Okay. All right. So this chicken is pretty much cooked. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to put it on the onion. So I'll get me a little, something that can, I mean, I don't want to put it on the onion. And our flexible cutting mats do not take the heat. So we need to cut this down a little bit into smaller pieces. I skipped that step, so we'll just do it now. So Pampered, not perfect. Okay. And I'll just grab another knife, you know, because why not get all your knives dirty, right? This is definitely not cooked. Okay. Whew, but it's hot. Okay, so we're cutting these down into smaller pieces. And it said, you know, if we're using chicken thighs, it said to cut them into thirds. So we're using something different. We're using the breasts instead of the thighs, which is why it it would have cooked faster if I had you know, followed directions, or thought about that, should I say. Not really follow directions, but thought about that. Okay, we'll go ahead and stack these on top of each other. All right, and then one last one, and then we'll put these back in the pan and continue cooking them. Okay. Actually, this goes down here, this goes right here. Put these back in the pan. And that's going to continue to cook. All right, so what it says to do next, I have honey on my hands. What it says to do next is add the onion, the bell pepper, and the broccoli, and then cook for 3 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat up this other pan right here. We're going to add some oil to it. This is going to be our onion and bell pepper pan. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and cook that in there. And then we're going to add our broccoli to this pan. Okay? And actually, I think I'm going to take out some of the chicken. I'm going to cook it with the chicken a little bit, and then I'll take it out. Okay, now I have to remember, I'm actually going to switch and use the small things on the small pan. Now, I don't have any seasoning in with the onions and peppers because they're not cooked with the chicken, so I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. Okay? This is actually something I learned with my Blue Apron, is they suggest adding salt and pepper basically every time you add ingredients, add salt and pepper. And it's a great tip because it makes your food taste really, really great. So we're going to cook this over here. I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of chicken and stick them in here. Oh, that one's going to have to stay. Okay. So we get that flavor, and then it's going to cook down. Now I probably should have put the chicken and the broccoli in the small pan and all of the other ingredients in the large pan, but of course I didn't do that. So, and it's too late now. I think that's what I had planned to do, and then I forgot once I started doing it. Okay, so we've got that right there. And actually, my husband's only going to be here tonight. He is heading out tomorrow, so I could probably switch things around even a little bit more and just have his serving and then have my son's and my serving, which maybe that's what I'm going to do. Just have some for him in there. And then I won't use all of the sauce on it either, so that's good. Like that, that'll be his serving. And then we'll put everything else in here. Okay? And then we'll get that big. Okay. It's a good thing all this stuff is so easy to clean, right? So we just change things around as we go. And now we're going to cook this all together. We'll get some really, really good flavor here. But we have this allergy portion set to the side. Okay, so that's going to cook for 3 minutes. Oh, I need to add the garlic. Speaking of my husband. So, my son and my husband were here for a little bit by themselves while I was out of town. And I asked them how dinner went this one night. And my son said, oh, it went great, but the food was really, really garlicky. It was really spicy. And I was like, that's really weird. And my husband's like, well, I just put the whole thing in there. It said one bulb, and I just put the one thing in there that it said. And I was like, whoa. You put one whole thing of garlic in there? He's like, yeah, it said one bulb. And I was like, one bulb, babe? This is one bulb. One bulb comes off of one clove. He said it said one clove. And he says, yeah, so one clove comes off of a bulb. A bulb has many, many, many cloves. So tip, if you're new to cooking, this is a clove, this is a bulb, okay? So we're just gonna squeeze 1 clove of garlic. These are small cloves. I'm gonna put 2 in each one. Sometimes because we have the flavor challenge of no onions and no peppers, sometimes I add extra garlic to everything. So I'm just pulling the cloves off. It's a nice big one. we'll put that in his. So, and then we just use a little tool right here, just scrape it off. So I am in the process of trying to figure out how I can have a camera over here so you guys can see what's going on. It's just kind of in the process. And I started downloading some software today, and so just got to figure it out. I'm going to stand for my second camera, all that good stuff. So, all right, so let's see what's next. While those are cooking, garlic is also really sticky. So one of the things about the garlic press is that you can drop that clove in there with all the paper and everything on it and just press it. You don't have to peel it or anything. So that makes it really handy. Okay, so combine the seasoning and then pour the sauce over the chicken and the vegetables. Okay, so this has to cook for a few minutes, which it's been cooking. I'm gonna make sure it's still on because I was messing with that. Chicken's not quite cooked still. But I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in there. And we'll get that going. That's gonna get all that flavor on there. I'm gonna rinse this off so I can use it for the other one. And then we'll do my husband's. All right. So now we have those in there, and we're going to bring it to a simmer until the sauce is thickened. Okay, I see that it left something out of the sauce. It sure did. It left the cornstarch out of the sauce. Yep. Cornstarch and water. Oh, wait. Pour the sauce over the chicken, reduce. Oh, add the cornstarch and water in a small bowl. Okay, so we get another small bowl. I was like, how did we leave the cornstarch? This is basically 2 tablespoons of cornstarch out already. That's all that's left in there. So put that, and then we need 2 tablespoons of water, which I have right here, and we'll split this between the 2. Okay? Go ahead and rinse this off again. And we'll just use that again. Okay, you guys are probably glad that I used a tool a second time, especially if you're the one who does dishes in your house. You're probably really glad. If you don't have cornstarch, you can use flour. So, all right. So, let's see. And then we're gonna, after that's been cooking for a few minutes, we're going to add the cornstarch in there. And so I have a system here. This is always what I use for my husband's. Okay? So we've got this right here, and then we've got this one right here. I'm going to stir it, make sure that the flavors get mixed in with everything. You could also use a wok for this. Our stainless wok would be perfect for this recipe. Now that it's simmering, I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit in here and then the rest in here. That's going to help to thicken. So like I said, if you don't have cornstarch, you can use flour. That works well. Cornstarch, though, helps to thicken the sauce. So we're going to let that cook for a minute. And that's going to thicken up. And our rice is all ready, so I'll go ahead and while this is finishing cooking, I will pull the rice out. All right, so our rice is done. Once it's done, it beeps at you. And then I like to let my rice kind of naturally release until I'm ready to pull it out. This is a pressure cooker. It also is a slow cooker, and it will do sous vide. We had steak yesterday that I had done with a sous vide. I had put it in the afternoon to cook, and then when we were ready for dinner, I heated everything else up. It was a leftover night. We were using canned veggies and some leftover stuff, but we had an awesome steak, and I just put it in the pan to brown it. So I'm going to push the steam release button. It's going to release the steam. okay? Notice I don't have to be anywhere near that steam button up there. And so I'm not gonna get burned. So that's really, really nice. Oh, this smells so good. This is a really quick, easy recipe. It says it takes 25 minutes total time. I've been talking to you guys, kind of working through it. So it's, you know, we've been going about 30 minutes, so that's pretty good. Always takes me a little bit longer to do the recipe myself. Do you guys notice this little baby bowl right here? Brand new, little 2-quart bowl. All right, so now the red dot has dropped, which means it's unlocked. I can open it up. I always open it away from me, okay, and get that steam out. And then we have this nice feature that it will hold the lid right there. So everything's hot. I always use my little finger grips to hold the pan while I mix up the rice. And I'll show you guys, this is jasmine rice, so it smells really nice and nutty. See the rice right there? All right. Perfect. So, when we're ready to eat this, we'll just take a scoop of the rice. It's about half a cup. It's a good size serving. And then we will take a scoop of this. And it's all done. I think I would add more broccoli to this. I don't think it has enough broccoli in here. We're going to take a scoop of this, put it on here. With some of the veggies. Make one more piece of chicken in here. Put that on low. Then we're going to open up our chow mein noodles. I'm so excited about this, you guys. I haven't had chow mein noodles in a long time. And we're just going to stick those on the top. And there we go. Now, mine's a little bit lighter than the picture because I use chicken breasts and not chicken thighs. All right? All right, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I'll make sure the recipe is linked so that you can cook along, so you can make it yourself at home. And I hope you really enjoy this. See you next week. Have a great week. And be sure you subscribe, follow, whatever the case may be. And if you have friends who love to cook or need recipe ideas, make sure you share this video with them.